Greetings, beloved in Christ. Happy New Year. What are you planning to learn? What new thing are you going to learn this year? One of my favorite pieces of Paul's letter to the church at Rome is where he says to God's faithful people, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. With those words, Paul implants in us the idea that as followers of Jesus, we are called to be lifelong learners, that our formation will continue for all of our lives until we meet Jesus. To that end, every year I assign myself a stack of books to read. I learn best by reading. And so for me, the renewing of my mind is by reading new ideas, new authors, new genres. I'd like to share with you what I will be reading in 2022. The first book is this one. It's called Disorder, and it's by Jessica Weifang Wang. It is a book on holy icons and racial myths, and I am very excited. It is a new publication, and I'm very excited to see her historical and theological takes on those things. The second book that I'm really excited about, nerdily excited about, is this one. It's called Energy in Orthodox Theology and Physics. It's by Stoyan Tanev, and yes, it appeals to the science geek in my soul. I'm very excited to read what Tanev has to say about our ideas of essence and energy and how that plays out in our preaching and how we understand ourselves in relationship with God and one another. Very excited about that one. I am also excited about this one by Richard Rohr, The Wisdom Pattern, Order, Disorder, and Reordering. I saw this book and the subtitle really spoke to me. As we have lived through this COVID time, we've gone from one kind of order to a life that is disordered with all sorts of varied changes. And I'm curious to see what Richard Rohr has to say about how we will reorder ourselves in the coming time. Finally, because I love young adult dystopian fiction, I'm excited about this book. It's called The Marrow Thieves. It is by an Indigenous female author named Cherie Dimaline, and it is about a post-apocalyptic world in which only the Indigenous people remember how to dream. Those are the things that I will be reading in my part, in my understanding of how I renew my mind, how I learn new things, how I take in new information. I encourage each and every one of you to not be conformed to this world, but to be transformed by the renewing of your mind.